Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we have ourselves a few interesting topics to talk about, all of which involve the Forbidden Five, and we will be spending some time in today's video talking about the Forbidden Five and their elemental powers. Since we do have some rumors floating around the community regarding some of the missing powers that we do not know just yet coming from the Forbidden Five, we also have a statement from Ninjago head writer Doc Wyatt that we need to talk about as well involving the Forbidden Five, and also we are going to be discussing the video that I made yesterday talking about this listing that appeared online for an upcoming Forbidden Five origin story book. So needless to say, we have a lot of things to talk about in today's video. Let's talk about the book first, just because, again, it will be an update to the video that I made yesterday. In case you guys have not been made aware, yesterday there was a listing that appeared online through a Finnish bookstore that revealed the existence of an upcoming Ninjago book known as Shadow of the Five, which will essentially explain how the Forbidden Five found each other, and it also explains through the description what each of the Forbidden Five are in terms of an animal. Just to recap, Noct and Rox are wolves, Zarkt is a panther, Drix is a wasp, and Kerr is a raven. We will be coming back to this description a little bit later, but essentially it just kind of explains that all of the Forbidden Five found each other after being abandoned or neglected, so it makes sense why they all bonded together and why they are so angry. Now, following the release of that listing, there were a ton of discussions to be had throughout the Ninjago community, and especially in my comment section. It kind of turned into a war zone out of nowhere, because apparently, and again, this is a very, very sticky situation, apparently there is a Ninjago leaker out there claiming that this listing on this Finnish bookstore website is fake. A lot of people are choosing not to believe this leaker because apparently the leaker is just upset that other people found the listing first and they did not find it first, and as such they are simply calling it fake out of spite because they are upset that they did not get to the news first, which I really hope isn't true. Let me just say though, I am not here to compete with anyone. I'm just here doing my own thing. I really don't care about competition. It's not a competition here on the channel, but I find it hard to believe that the source is fake, considering that it is literally a bookstore. I'm not sure how this could be fraudulent if it's literally a store selling books. Now, with that being said, I do expect the listing to change just as it is, because every Ninjago book has changed in some way between the initial listing and the final product. A lot of the books just straight up tell you that it's not final. So I do expect some changes here. Maybe the title will be adjusted, but still the source does look pretty accurate to me, because again, it is a literal bookstore. It's more believable than your average Ninjago leak that shows up on someone's Twitter account or someone's Instagram. And also, just for a quick side tangent, I've noticed some comments talking about me actively spreading fake news on this channel, which I've never done. I have never lied about news in a video covering news. All news and Ninjago leaks are properly labeled as such. The only things that I can see even applying to that statement are my videos talking about fan theories and rumors, which even then, they are labeled properly as theories and rumors. So unless you are actively ignoring those labels, I don't see how that's me spreading fake news. I know this community has a weird thing against speculation, but there's nothing wrong with speculating or theorizing, just as long as you properly label your theory as a theory, which I do. There's no harm in theorizing. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't speculate. Theories are theories. You can theorize. It's part of the fun of being a Ninjago fan. The same logic applies with rumors. I think it's totally okay to discuss rumors as long as you label them as rumors, which I do. Rumors are sometimes right, rumors are sometimes wrong. As long as you are labeling it properly as a rumor, I don't see the harm in talking about rumors. I also never claimed to be the source of any of this information. I am not a Ninjago leaker. I simply talk about what everyone else is already talking about. Or I get my information from public sources like Ninjago staff members, or in the case of yesterday's video, online retailers like bookstores. So again, that's pretty much all I have to say regarding yesterday's video. I still believe these listings to be real, but again, those are just my beliefs. keep that in mind. Now, moving on from that, funny enough, we do have some rumors to talk about involving the Forbidden Five and their elemental powers potentially not being real elemental powers, in the sense that the Forbidden Five's powers could be artificial. I have seen this list floating around the Ninjago community. Now, again, this is just a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. Some of these powers, though, are confirmed, like Noct having Brute Force, Zarkt having Misfortune, and Drix having Swarm, but in the case of Rox and Kerr, their powers have not yet been officially confirmed. But from what I've seen, some Ninjago fans are claiming that Rox's elemental power is Plague, while Kerr's is Decay. I'm not sure how I feel about Plague as an elemental power. I'd have to see how it works. However, I would expect Rox to have something more akin to either magic or possession, something like that. Not really sure if Plague fits her vibe, but again, it is an interesting power if done correctly, so I guess we will just have to wait and see. In terms of Decay for Kerr, I really like that idea because I think it has a lot of potential there. Kerr could possibly decay his surroundings, decay his opponents if Ninjago really wanted to go that far. And with Kerr being a raven, I think it makes a ton of sense there. But again, in terms of the Plague and Decay elemental powers, those are just rumors. But in terms of the powers being artificial, we recently got a statement from Ninjago series head writer Doc Wyatt that confirms that the Forbidden Five did not receive their powers from parents, meaning that they are not going about the traditional and most common method of obtaining their elemental powers. Now again, being born into an elemental bloodline is not the only way to achieve elemental powers. It is possible that the Forbidden Five were given their powers by previous elemental masters. For example, maybe the previous master of Brute Force gave his power to Noct. However, I think it would be interesting if the elemental powers were artificial, perhaps given to the Forbidden Five by Thunderfang or through some other method. Going back to the description from the Forbidden Five origin story book, it does sound like the Forbidden Five all lived a very hard life, all being rejected or abandoned in some way. I think it could be cool to see all of these Forbidden Five members, maybe pre-corruption, coming together to form the Forbidden Five and eventually finding a way to give themselves elemental powers as a way to get back at whoever abandoned them or rejected them. Maybe that's why the Forbidden Five invaded the wildness in the first place, to take revenge all those years ago for their rough upbringing. Again, maybe Thunderfang gave the Forbidden Five their elemental powers. Since we know that Thunderfang was a rejected source dragon, maybe Thunderfang found a way to create his own bootlegged elemental powers, just like how the source dragons actually distribute elemental powers. Maybe this process ended up corrupting the Forbidden Five, which would explain why they don't look like your stereotypical Chima animals. However, side note, I do think it would be cool if in this book we saw what they looked like pre-corruption. For example, maybe Noct and Rox actually look like Chima wolves or something like that. But either way, after obtaining these powers, establishing the Shadow Dojo, building the Wolf Clan, learning Shatterspin, we could totally see how the Forbidden Five ended up getting to the status that they are, as these terrifying elemental masters who pretty much invaded and conquered a large majority of the wildness. And also, not to mention, the Forbidden Five are kind of seen more now as reverse ninja, in the sense that, like the ninja, they are a team of elemental masters that came together to overcome all odds. However, instead of being a team born out of brotherhood like the ninja, the Forbidden Five were born out of blood and spite. I think the Forbidden Five and the ninja have a very interesting parallel with each other, and I've talked about this before, how the Forbidden Five can kind of be seen as a team of anti-ninja. I think this book will establish that parallel even more so, and I for one am super excited to learn more. So overall, guys, I think this book sounds very exciting. I am very excited to see the origins of the Forbidden Five, and ever since we got the listings yesterday, I've wanted to elaborate on my thoughts surrounding this book, so I hope I was able to express those properly in today's video. Sorry if this one ran a little bit long. I just had a lot to say and a lot to clarify. Hope all of that made sense. In the meantime, leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. What exactly do you think about all of this? And are you excited for this Forbidden Five book? Leave all of your thoughts down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.